Hello my friends and welcome. Today I would like to share with you one of the many stories from Irish mythology that I was told when I was a little girl. The ones from mythology were generally okay. They featured tales starring the likes of Fionn MacCool and Cú Chulainn. It was certain myths from Irish folklore, usually the ones with mad fairies, that used to freak me out. Tales like the one about the Irish vampire caused me many a restless night. Storytelling has always played a key part in Irish culture for thousands of years. Back in the day, during the time of the Celts, written records of historical events weren't kept. Stories and legends were passed between towns and villages, and through generations, via poem and song. But, imagine telling a child that's about to head to bed a story about a vampire that resides right here in Ireland. There wasn't just a story about a vampire, but we here in Ireland have several stories about several kinds of vampires. Today I would like to tell you the story about one of them in particular. The Dearg Due tells the tragic and pretty damn scary story of a woman turned bloodsucker. It was in a village, in Waterford, that the daughter of a blacksmith, who was known throughout the land for her beauty, had fallen in love with a local peasant, who worked on a nearby farm. They began courting and talked of marriage, and about having kids. Life for the couple appeared to all be going to plan until the blacksmith learned what was going on. He was a wicked man and cared little for his daughter, and even less for her lover. The woman's cruel father had decided long ago that he would try and profit from his daughter's beauty. She was the desire of many men and he knew that he could use this to his advantage. Her evil father knew of one man, in particular, that would appreciate his daughter's beauty and that would be willing to pay generously for her hand in marriage. The man was a local chieftain and was known for his wealth, and of his family's brutish ways. One night, the blacksmith traveled to meet the chieftain, unbeknownst to his daughter, and made the proposal. The chieftain knew of the woman and he readily agreed, promising to give the blacksmith land and riches in exchange for his daughter's hand. When the woman discovered what the blacksmith had promised, she was furious, but her hands were tied. She knew that she couldn't defy her father. The day of the wedding arrived and all but two people were happy. The newly married bride and the local peasant, who was her true love. He decided on that day that he would do whatever it took to get revenge. The woman's husband turned out to be far more violent than his reputation. He used his new bride as a trophy and he locked her away for days and weeks at a time. Soon, her hope evaporated, she stopped eating and drinking and soon after that, she passed away. Despite her husband's great riches, her burial was a modest affair. To add insult to injury, her husband married soon after. Her father, still on cloud nine from his new fortune, was too immersed in his own greed to be bothered by his daughter's death. The only person that grieved her passing was her first love. His hunger for revenge intensified every time that he visited her grave. Here's where the story takes a turn and moves from tragedy to terrifying. It's here that the link to the Irish vampire begins. The spirit of the woman was so filled with rage that it forced her out of the grave, lusting for vengeance. Her first stop was to her father's home. She arrived in his room while he was asleep and killed him as he lay. She moved quickly to the home of the evil chieftain. When she burst into his room, she found him in a bed with a number of women, void of any sadness or regret. It's here that the vampire link begins. The woman launched herself at the chieftain and killed him stone dead. She then proceeded to suck the blood from his body. After drinking the blood of her evil husband, the Dearg Due felt invigorated and alive. This feeling gave her a hunger for blood that could not be quenched. The Dearg Due, or in English, red bloodsucker, used her great beauty to lure unsuspecting young men into dark corners. Once there, she sank her teeth deep into their necks and drank greedily. With each conquest, she got hungrier and hungrier, feasting on the blood of many men, under the darkness of night, and with the promise of love. And then she disappeared. This part of the story always frightened me as a kid. What happened to her? Where did she go? Is she still out there? Some say that the grave of the young woman can be found at a place called the Tree of Strongbow, or Strongbow's Tree, in Waterford. And that, my friends, is a short tale from just one of the many stories from Irish folklore. Thank you for watching and goodbye for now.